Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from HolsingersFlyShop.com, bringing you another time video this week. And this week I'm going to start a little series on wet flies. I like to tie wet flies and haven't put any on the channel for a while, so I think I'm going to do like about a month's worth of them. So you're going to see a couple here in a row. I hope you don't get bored with them, but it's something that I enjoy tying, and they're fun to fish too. So today's fly is it's called the Poacher. It's just a simple generic wet fly pattern, and it catches fish. It's a proven pattern. Give it a try. Couple techniques in it that are very simple that you can roll over into other wet fly patterns. So give this one a try. You'll like tying it, and it makes a very classy looking classic style wet fly. So have fun tying it. Here you're going to see it in the vise and then the material list to tie it. Alright, here you see the Poacher Wet Fly in the vise. Very cool looking little fly. Let's get into tying it. For a hook, I'm using a Firehole. This is a 609, size 14. 14, 16s, 12s, anything like that. Generic style fly, so tie in whatever size you have the most common bugs in your areas, and it'll do well for you. For thread, it's 140 Denier. This is rusty brown. For a tail, I'm using, this is a Grouse. This is off the saddle of a Grouse, and just real cool brown looking feather. And I'm going to tear off about 6 or 8 fibers off of that tail section. Or sorry, off of the saddle feather there. Just going to pinch them all together, set them on top here, get my length to where I want it. I want it to be a little bit shorter than the length of the hook shank. And we're just going to set them on top there, wrap them down where I want them, make sure that's the right length, which I actually like that pretty well. And then we're going to come up here, and these are pretty soft and they pull off pretty easy. So for the abdomen on this, I'm just using thread, and that's why we're using the brown. You could change the color to an all over something if you want, and you might want to make like one wrap, but make sure you don't trap any of the fibers underneath. You make one wrap like that, it tends to hold them up and not bend down over the hook there. So I'm just going to get that on there, wrap this back up here, and I want to stop about 2/3 of the way up. The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to put the thorax on here. And for the thorax, I'm just using a Peacock Herl. One single strand. And like I said, about 2/3 of the way up. And then we're going to wrap this forward. I'm just going to make nice side by side. Whoops. I'm going to have to redo that one because the Peacock Herl came apart on me here. Okay, so we're just going to tie in this. I like to tie it in by the butt end. And then we're just going to wrap it forward. I just want to make a nice collar up here. Get that green Peacock Herl coming through. Oops. Once I get a nice collar built there for the thorax, we're going to tie this off. Alright, next thing we're going to do is take another one of these grouse feathers, and I'm just going to pull the tips. I'm going to pinch the tips in my thumb and forefinger there and pull the rest of the fibers back like that. Okay, then I'm going to lay this down on top, and I'm going to lay it with the bottom of the feather facing down onto the fly. And I'm just going to wrap that little tag end down. Now, this feather shaft is pretty thin, so you have to be careful when you go to wrap this on here. You got to be gentle with it. So I'm going to put my hackle pliers on, and I'm going to start palmering this around the hook. And as I do it, I'm going to strip those fibers backwards, making sure they all go the direction I want to, and not letting my feather twist as I turn it. By doing that, it'll get all those fibers to lay back like I want. And I want to get about 3 wraps on there and then tie it off. I don't want to go too heavy on this. It's part of the reason why I pulled all that fluff off before I wrapped it. I didn't want extra stuff on the extra hackle on here. So then we're just going to make a nice small tidy little head on there and whip finish it off. Okay, and then if you want, put some head cement or a little bit of Solarez Bone Dry on there and we'll finish this fly off. So for me, I just put a little dab of Bone Dry on there, hit it with my light, and we're all done. There you go, the Poacher Wet Fly. A very cool and actually pretty simple little fly to tie. Alright guys, I hope you like that simple pattern. Didn't take me long to tie. And that's a good thing. You know, if they don't take long to tie, you tend to fish them a little harder because you don't care so much about losing them. Keep everything sparse. Don't go overboard on that tail. No more than like 6-8 tail fibers. And 2-3 wraps is all you really need on there, on the hackle. Don't go overboard on it. Go sparse on it. You're just imitating wings and legs, so you don't need a lot there. Go sparse and you'll catch fish. So have fun tying, guys. Anytime you need any of the material for them, you can find it at holsingersflyshop.com. And like always, guys, if you want me to tie some of these for you, reach out to me at holsingersflyshop@gmail.com. That's where you get directly a hold of me if you have any questions or would like me to do any custom tying for you. So until next week when I bring you another video, I'm Sean Holsinger.